Estonia may become the first European country to pass a law allowing to seizure and sale of the frozen assets of sanctioned Russian oligarchs in favor of Ukraine. According to Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas, the development procedure will allow Kyiv to compensate for the damage caused by the war unleashed by Moscow against Ukraine at the expense of the assets of the Russian Federation and its citizens affiliated with the Putin regime.
The decision is almost ready. It was discussed in the Cabinet of Ministers, but some details still need to be clarified. We can also demonstrate to other countries how this solution can work legally. Kaja Kallas, Prime Minister of Estonia, in a comment to Delfi.
In addition to the frozen Russian assets worth almost 35 million euros, there are also material ones in Estonia. These are terminals operating in the ports of Muuga and Sillamäe, which are engaged in the transshipment of fertilizers from Russia. They are going to be sold at auction. The proceeds from the sale will be used to restore Ukraine.
The bottom line is that appropriate changes are being made to the legislation that allow for the confiscation of assets. If a private person or a state is implicated or involved in making the international crimes, violations of human rights, mass or other serious crimes, this mechanism has a legal basis and it is quite promising.
There is one significant nuance in the development scheme. If Russia takes responsibility for the damage caused as a result of aggression against Ukraine and compensates for it, then in the future the oligarchs will have the opportunity to return the asset or receive monetary compensation.
They, in fact, create a mechanism so that the money of those who were taken from, in fact, stimulates these people to put pressure on the speedy end of the war and on the process of accepting of this guilt of the Russian state for the damage. Then they have a chance to get their money back in the future.
Estonia is at the forefront of the anti-Russian sanctions policy. The country's government supports drastic measures, up to a complete trade embargo. This is because the Estonians do not want to become the next target of Russian aggression, analysts say, and helping Ukraine is the only correct way to prevent this aggression.
They understood in their own skin what the threat from Russia is, and they, of course, want the quickest defeat of both the economic and the military, and these confiscation mechanisms will, of course, help.
The Estonian legal scheme for the use of Russia's frozen assets may be adopted by other countries, experts say. Lithuania, Latvia and Poland can be the first to use the experience of Estonia. Similar initiatives are being considered in Brussels.
I think that these steps were calculated there, since we are still talking about the rule of law. But it is precisely with this that the caution with which the same European Union considers both very detailed and slow, one might say, in applying these mechanisms is connected, since the European Union wants to be sure that there will be no absolutely legal, let's say, what then the negative moments associated with this.
Lawyers believe that the process of implementation and then execution of the orders may take months in Estonia itself. But speed is not as important here as accuracy. It is necessary to foresee all the risks and eliminate potential holes in the regulations that interested parties can use in courts, and this may delay or even jeopardize the provision of compensation to Ukraine. Reported by Roman Smoler, Vasyl Panasyuk, UATV News.